In this video, I'll be taking a look at Portal Knights on the Nintendo Switch. Now keep in mind this game is on every single platform, so it's on PS4, Xbox One, PC, and the Nintendo Switch, and on top of that, it's also on mobile. Yep, you heard me correct, it's on mobile as well, so you can get this game on iOS and Android, so it's on both mobile platforms. So this game's pretty much on everything under the sun. If you have a platform, most likely you can play this game. So you're probably seeing a static screen right now of the Portal Knights logo. That's because I got done editing the review and I realized I missed some stuff. So that's why you have this weird jump cut right now with just a static Portal Knights logo up on screen. First off, if you're not aware, this game does have a physical release outside of a digital release. So that's nice. So if you're a fan of collecting games, you can definitely buy this physical. The nice thing with Portal Knights, unlike some other indie games, is the fact that this game, whether you buy it physical or digital, is going to cost the same amount of money. Unlike some other games I can think of off the top of my head, Rocket League is one game, they charge you more for the physical release than the digital release, so just keep that in mind. Portal Knights is the same across the board when it comes to price. On top of that, I did forget to mention each world in this game is very different from one another. So for instance, you may have a grass world, an ice world, a fire world, maybe a kingdom world. So you do get different worlds in this game, so that's nice. So not all worlds feel the same, if that's maybe what you are wondering. Nope, most worlds feel very different from one another, which is good news. And the last thing I did forget to talk about, crafting does play a pretty big role in this game. I forgot to mention, because a lot of these quests that you actually take from these NPCs in the game will actually give you crafting quests, where you have to go out and actually craft something on like a table, or just craft stuff in general. So keep that in mind. I didn't talk about that. I just said there was fetch quest, killing quest, but I really didn't mention crafting quest. But yes, there are crafting quests in this game. And another thing I did forget to mention, it's not really a big deal that the Nintendo Switch version of the game doesn't have the larger worlds, because I did forget to mention, as you change the different world sizes of the game when you play a game, it kind of does hurt the game if you go to like a much more bigger world, because trying to find all the NPCs, trying to find all the enemies and things like that actually becomes much more tedious of a task when you actually have these bigger worlds, and it can actually make the game take longer, or it can make the game more frustrating trying to find everything if you're making these worlds much more bigger. So don't worry about the worlds not having small, medium, and large like other platforms. It's okay if this game only has small and medium worlds. In my opinion, the medium worlds are already big enough. I did try a medium world out, and in my experience, it was already too big and it kind of frustrated me. I actually did do one, but then I had to delete it just because it was already too big. I think personally for me, the small size is definitely perfect for me, and it's not really a big deal. And on top of that, I do know for a factor, if you change the world size, so if you're playing adventure mode that has the bigger worlds, the medium worlds, instead of the small worlds on Switch, the loading times are going to be significantly more. So keep that in mind as well. As you move the different sizes of the worlds from small to medium, you will get longer loading times, because of course it has to render the world, it has to put more in the world, it's bigger, so it's going to take longer to load. So keep that in mind as well. I didn't show you those loading times because I don't have a world built for that, but just those are just some things I wanted to throw in. Now back to the regular scheduled program. Now keep in mind, if you're going to buy this on the Switch version of this game is going to be $10 more than other platforms for some weird reason. So normally this game goes for $20, but the Switch version is going to be $29.99. I do know if you're watching this video as of right now, I think until February 22nd, there is a sale going on for this game. So you can get this on sale. Just make sure you check your platform and you should be able to get a sale for this game. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Portal Knights is pretty much kind of like an open-ended game. It's more closer to like a Minecraft, or for instance like Dragon Quest Builders. It's actually closer to Dragon Quest Builders than it is Minecraft, but you definitely get Minecraft vibes from this. You get Dragon Quest Builders vibes from this. I would even go as far to say that if you play games like Stardew Valley, Harvest Moon, My Time at Portia, then you're definitely going to love Portal Knights. It's one of those open-ended games. This game is great for kids. I would even say it's great for people who just love relaxing games. If you like relaxing games, then you're going to love this. The one thing that makes this stand out from Minecraft is you do have the crafting stuff with this game, but the big thing with Portal Knights is the fact that they do actually throw in RPG combat elements, so it's kind of like an action RPG meets Minecraft. That's why I said this game's more closer to Dragon Quest Builders than it is Minecraft, because you guys know with Minecraft you don't really have a character progression system where you're leveling up a character, getting new weapons and things like that, but that's what Portal Knights is. Let's go ahead and play Portal Knights. Before I play Portal Knights, I want to show you some of the different options in the game so you can see what you can actually change in the game. The gameplay, you can do different things. This game also, you can see right here on screen, it does have a first person and a third person view. I'll get into that a little bit later. Just here's some of the different stuff you can change in the game, but there it is right there. And then one thing you can do, which is nice, which I do like it when games do this, you can pretty much customize all the controls to your liking, so you can map everything in the game to whatever buttons you want on your controller, which is nice. You can play your way. That's something very interesting, and that's pretty much it when it comes to options for the game. Let's go ahead and play a little bit of Portal Knights. Now, the great thing about Portal Knights is it is 1 to 4 players online. Keep in mind, you can't play with random strangers online. There's no online random lobbies. Are all going to be friends list only, so you do have to know people, unfortunately, to play this game. The dev already commented on this and said the reason he doesn't want random strangers being in your game is because he doesn't want people griefing your like structures or griefing your loot and things like that. Now, this game also supports 2-player co-op on the same system, and I have tried that and it does work beautifully, and that's something pretty interesting about this game. I'm just going to go into a single player and show you some of the characters I have. You can see I do have currently 2 characters going for this game. I've been playing this game a little bit. I actually, so far, I'm liking my experience. But as you can see, I do have this character, which is a warrior. I do have another one, which is pretty much an archer. And there it is right there, those 2 different characters. I'm just going to go ahead and show you my warrior class. So let's jump into my warrior class. Now, when you're actually playing this game, just like Minecraft, you do have 2 different options for picking what you want to play. Do you want to play adventure mode, or do you want to play creative mode? Personally, for me, I've been playing a lot of adventure mode in this game. It's pretty much the same thing as survival mode in Minecraft. So I'm just going to go ahead and go into my save right here. You can see it says adventure mode, 3 out of 48 islands visited, because instead of having one big world that you have just like Minecraft, you actually have these little small different worlds that you go ahead and visit. That's kind of why this game is called Portal Knights. I'll get into that a little bit later, but let's just go into my PyTown and try to play. I am actually going to show you the loading screens in this game, because initially when this game came out, the loading times were a little bit long. I do think, from what I've seen, I think they fixed the loading times in this game. The loading times aren't as bad as when this game first came out, but I do want to show you the loading times either way, so you can get kind of an idea of how it loads. But there it is. That's pretty much how it loads. Here you go. You can see one of these levels. And something, okay, my character is loading in, but before that, I'm actually going to go back to one of the older levels to try to not show you too many spoilers in this game. I'm going to go back to the first world of this game. So here's the first level of the game. It's called Squares Knolls. Now, one thing I didn't mention about this game, when you create your world, you have an option to actually make the worlds small, medium, or large, but it looks like on the Nintendo Switch version, you don't have an option to make the worlds small, medium, or large. You only have 2 options, small or large. And apparently on the Switch version, the large worlds are actually equivalent to medium worlds on other platforms. So just keep that in mind. It looks like the Switch can't do the bigger worlds, if you're wondering. So there is some sacrifice there when it comes to the actual performance. It comes to the actual world size. I just wanted to throw that out there in case you were thinking about buying Portal Knights and maybe you want to buy it on another platform, or you're deciding what platform to buy it on. Here's some enemies in the game. One thing I've noticed by playing this game now about 7 or 8 hours, I've noticed that the enemies in this game are just very downright brutal. You can see these ones aren't too bad because I'm in an area where I've already leveled up way past the requirement of the actual enemies. Enemies are level 1, and I'm level like 5 right now, so it's a walk in the park when it comes to the enemies. But trust me, the enemies in this game are downright just downright brutal when it comes to the actual fighting of them. When it comes to the actual combat of this game, I'm just going to say the combat in this game is very generic. Don't get your expectations up when it comes to an action RPG. The combat's just pretty much just one button. You can see I'm just swinging my sword round and round, and there it is. But it is pretty fun to just kill these enemies and things like that. You can see at the bottom I have my inventory. Those are all the items I currently picked up. And then you pretty much do what you do in Minecraft. And in adventure mode, the thing that makes adventure mode different from creative mode is you do actually have a story here. In adventure mode, you have a story, and the story here is pretty much light. Pretty much just bare bones is basically what I'm saying. It's not too crazy of the story. The story really doesn't matter all that much. But the thing with adventure mode is you actually have NPCs that'll give you missions. So if you want to go on these little missions, you can do these little missions. I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the NPCs in this game so you can kind of get a feel of what some of the NPCs are. So you can see here's an NPC right here. I've already done these missions, but you basically talk to these NPCs and they'll give you these little missions. Now the missions in this game aren't too crazy. They're pretty much just what you come to expect like from a game like this. You got things like fetch quests, like someone will tell you go give me some logs or go give me some wool. Someone will say go kill these enemies over here in the distance. You go ahead and do that. You come back to them, you complete the quest, and that's pretty much it. And it's pretty much a rinse and repeat cycle when it comes to adventure mode and things like this. But for some reason I just like this game. I just think this game's a very relaxing game. I like doing these pretty basic simple tasks. I just think overall it's a very fun time. Again, if you like things like Minecraft, if you like things like Dragon Quest Builders, or even things like I told you like those farming simulators, then you probably want to give this game a go. I think this game you can have a lot of fun with. And let me go ahead and show you the portal. That's pretty much why this game is called Portal Knights. You destroy these enemies, you get these little these blue shards, and then you build these portals to go to different worlds. And there's like 48 worlds in this game. I can see this game taking a very long time. This game is not a game that you're going to be beaten really quickly. I can see you spending like easily 30, 40, 50 hours in this game. And this game also has a creative mode. If you even want to do the creative mode, you can see here's the portal here. Each world does have a portal. You go to the next world, and then after you beat a couple of different worlds, you do get a big boss battle. Now I haven't actually reached the first boss in this game, but that's what makes this pretty cool game, that the bosses, I've seen a boss before, and I must say the bosses are pretty cool. Even though I really haven't played it in the game, I've seen someone play the bosses, and the bosses from what I've seen looked pretty cool. And yeah, this is pretty much the game, and here's your inventory. Pretty much like I said, Minecraft. You can craft stuff right here, pretty much what you come to expect from a game like this. Here's all the materials, all the different things. Here's some of the RPG element aspects when it comes to leveling up your character. Most of it's just pretty straightforward. You don't really got a big crazy upgrade system or like a big skill tree to deal with or anything like that. But here it is right here. You can increase your health, increase your damage output, you can increase your speed, and then different things like that. I'm going to go ahead and increase my strength right now with all my points. And then let me go to talents. You can tell you what different weapons you're using. I use a sword, so I'm leveling up that. It looks like the highest level in this game is actually 30, but that's going to take you some time to reach level 30. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And you just go through a different world like that, and then you do all these different quests, and yeah, rinse and repeat cycle. What else is there to talk about this game? Well, before I head out of here, I just wanted to say that this game on the Nintendo Switch, I do know for a fact it plays at 1080p 30. I don't know what it plays on other platforms. I can't say if that's low or if that's high for a type of game like this, but this does play at 1080p 30. In the dock, it does play at 720p. I wasn't sure if it played at 30 or 60 in handheld mode, but yeah, that's pretty much the performance on the Nintendo Switch. It does suck. Apparently the Nintendo Switch version doesn't have the larger islands or the larger world sizes. You have to play with either small or medium world sizes. Overall, this is a very good game. Keep in mind as well, this game you cannot play 4-player local split screen with 4 other players. I would imagine it might get too laggy and too slowdown might be too much. So if you want 4-player action on this game, you do have to play with different switches. I think it does support local LAN play as well. So outside of the online 4-player action of this game, you can actually play online, or you can play with 4 different switches. If you have 4 different switches, you can link them all together and play that way. Before I head out of here, there is something else I wanted to point out about Portal Knights. One thing I wanted to point out about Portal Knights is the fact that sometimes the camera can get kind of buggy and can get kind of glitchy when you're in combat. And sometimes when you lock onto an actual thing, when you're like down on a platform and stuff, it can get very, you can get stuck at times. I've actually had a couple of different times in my play where I had to completely reset the game just because, well, I got stuck in an area I could not get out of, and yeah, it pretty much glitched out on me. So there is some glitches with this game, but the glitches are very minor. In my time with this game, so far I've only had to reset the game once, but just keep that in mind. This game can get buggy and can bug out and glitch out to where you can get stuck on certain things and you can have to reset the game, but that's pretty much it. Would I recommend this game? Yes, I would definitely recommend this game. I know this type of game is not for everybody. It's geared towards more kids and things like that, but I think a lot of people can have fun with this if you like just going on these mini adventures, just doing things like building, like mining, like if you like action RPGs, you may want to play this, but just keep in mind that this is a very bare bones action RPG. It's nothing crazy, but from what I'm playing, I'm definitely having fun with this game. This is definitely a game that I'm probably definitely going to end up finishing, honestly, because I'm having so much fun with this game. I've already put in at least around probably 10 hours into this game already. So yeah, this is definitely a 2 thumbs up for me. If I was to score this from 1 out of 10, I would probably give this like close to maybe a 7.5 or an 8 out of this game. It's great. Nothing mind-blowing about this experience, but definitely a game, and it's definitely a good game on Switch, even if it's $10 more, because this is definitely a perfect handheld experience. This is one game you definitely want to take on the go with you. You can spend so many hours, and after you beat adventure mode, you can just go ahead and play the creative mode, just like Minecraft, and just build random stuff if you want to. But that's Portal Knights on the Nintendo Switch. Anyway, guys, this is Wayne from My Tech News, signing out.